Hello? Okay. Whoop. There we go. I don't know if anybody's here yet today. I don't know if anybody's going to come. I don't know if maybe everybody's got something better to do. That's fine. That's fine. But I was playing around with this a bit. I don't know if I've been meaning to work on this more, and I have some ideas for what I might do with it. But I just wanted to try something really quick. It's not playing. Might need to restart it. That's okay. Let me try again. Oh, there's a car. It's going faster. There it goes. It's gonna drive on by. I've been doing I messed around with some of the shortcuts I can use on it. I need to fix, there's some kind of bug I think when I clear it out and then I start something new sometimes, but what I really want to do with this is add more like scenes basically and maybe have it switch between them automatically. I also had an idea to make it so that this had like a little game that would play automatically kind of inside of it. I'm going to do something kind of trippy here. So I was like, boink, nudge, just slightly in the way, I think. But I think it'd be funny to have like a little person like walk on, like a little like knight walk on and like fight stuff. Maybe I've mentioned this before. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. If that was like something that ran in the background during startup, I think that would be really fun. Anyway, I was going to work on the actual game. A bunch of text from where I was thinking about working on the game. Where's my water? Whoa. I disappeared a little there. The main thing I want to change, so currently here's where the state was, and it's going to be the same as we last saw it, I think, pretty much. Which is, that's neat. That's neat. That happens. Okay, cool. But a couple of things I want to change. Well, one of the main things I want to change, really one thing, and this might be a really short stream. I'm actually feeling a little bit under the weather, and I wasn't planning on doing much more than this. But we'll see. Right now, the way that I've got it set up, enemies it's kind of almost like a kind of a Toho kind of feel almost, where enemies appear kind of more from the right side here and then come at you. And that means I feel like any omnidirectional shooting kind of stinks for that. I also think that the 3-color idea is neat on paper and sucks in reality. It means that it's just too hard to keep track of all 3. Switching between them in time to like block something or to hit something just doesn't seem like it's going to be very fun. I have another idea for the gimmick that could go along the same lines of the original idea, where there was kind of an almost story idea more than there was like a gameplay idea, where it was like, okay, it was supposed to be you're a psychic like fighter who shoots thoughts, basically, something like that, or feelings, I guess. I was thinking maybe I could do something where like feelings still like affect your character, maybe even like as the story progresses, things that happen in the game's story would then affect how your character's stats temporarily. I don't know, that's one idea. Or maybe even like the better you're doing, your character gets like happier, and then like it changes how it plays. That's one idea I had. I don't know how to actually do that entirely, but it could affect your basic stats, like how quickly you stop and start, and how quickly you move, like what your max speed is, and how much like you shoot maybe different kinds of bullets and stuff. And then it could have like bigger effects on like how the world presented, something like that. But some of that is almost too ambitious for something small. So what I'm going to start with, at the very least, I'm going to get rid of some of the like stuff that I've got going on. I'm going to try to pare it down to just a basic shooter and get that working. And that's what I'm going to try to do today. So I'm going to mainly, I want to get it to where when I press the, I'm going to make it so the move buttons are the arrow keys. That's going to be really easy. And then I'm going to make it so that you shoot with Z instead of the left click. And I'm going to make it so when you shoot, it just shoots straight instead of just towards your mouse, which isn't going to be a factor anymore. Because I just think it's going to make more sense for the type of game that I ended up going with. I was originally kind of thinking of it as like a Smash TV kind of thing, where you were going to have enemies like coming at you from all directions. It's going to be a whole thing. But then I ended up being like, no, Toho. I like Toho. Currently this is left down. I think that's going to be the shoot cooldown. Let's just go ahead and change the event. Not press, just key down, letter Z. Simple. This is more complicated. Not that much more though. Right now we're just checking for keyboard check or W, which just means the W key. I think it's just VK, like up in this case. S is down, so just VK down. A, that's left in your WASD, VK left. D, right in your WASD, so we're going to make it right. Then I'm going to make it so that it doesn't go towards your... Let's see. When it creates it currently, okay, so it just creates a direction for it. And that's just towards your mouse. So that's actually really simple too. The direction we want is 0, I believe. That's going to be right. So now we're controlling with this. So this could go away actually. That felt weird. I did something weird there. Anyway, yeah. So that's a little bit more like your general, like your average shooter thing. I also want to kind of get rid of the aura thing entirely. I'm just going to stop drawing that. And we can kind of comment out some stuff about the about how the aura works. How we don't need you to be able to pick between them anyway. So let's see, these just kind of changed your aura. We're getting rid of that entirely, and we're getting rid of mouse too. So I'm just going to delete those events. And we don't need to draw this anymore. I'll just get rid of it. And we don't need to draw this either. So we're not drawing the aura. We don't even need to animate it. We don't need to do any of this stuff. Bah. I'll delete it later probably. Then bullets, I guess we could just draw, instead of choosing from your aura, we'll just make it job. We don't even need to draw color. We could just let's say like, might even still be drawing in black anyway. So if we just say draw a circle, we don't need the extra parentheses. Thank you very much. Get rid of all this. Ta-da! That might still cause some weirdness though. Ooh, they're white. I Because I don't really care what color they are, as long as it's visible. This is just at this point, you know, ultra pre-alpha, like prototyping kind of crap. So we have no idea if we're even going to get past that. So let's just keep going. I don't really care too much. I do care about enemies having colors and all that. That's no longer actually a thing, and that's somewhat more complicated. Let's see. What all actually has to do with that? There's the enemy aura, so we don't need that anymore. We do have the type still. Aura list can go away. We can change it so that currently it has a script, I think, that I actually had to make it so that it could punch an enemy in. Currently that takes in an aura. That's no longer the thing, so that can go away. We can just get rid of that in the parameters so that it doesn't have to take that in anymore. At which point we'll get all the little warnings here too, because we were saying what aura, I believe. Could just get rid of that here. Right? No, wait. This was the type before, right? And then it was the aura, and then... Wasn't it? Yeah, I think that's right. So we're going to get rid of this, this, and this. I think aura came... Oop. There's still issues. Yeah, we can get rid of that. Oh, there's also going to be stuff with, let's see, when we draw our enemies... Yep, it's using this aura thing that doesn't exist anymore. I'm just going to say draw sprite instead. Sub image. Does this even have, let's see. What was it before? The sub image was the enemy type? I don't remember that being a thing. Did I actually have it to be where... I think I was going to make it so that it could change to a different sprite, but currently it just uses the one. What? What's wrong? Oh, there's a bunch of extra numbers here for no reason. Cool. Well, that's probably better without that. So then this is still doing stuff. Oh boy. So then bullets are hitting people and being like, what's your aura? Tell me your aura. And it's like, I don't have one. It's not a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. So this depends on the aura effect create above. And it's colored based on, okay. So we have a hit target script that also probably needs to be changed. It's from the bullet scripts. Oh yeah, look at that. So much stuff. It's like checking on that. So let's do it so that it does like the explosion or spark or something. And just takes off some HP. And we'll worry about more later. I might make it so that bullets, well, I have to at some point, I think. I'll make it so that bullets can have like an amount of damage they deal. I'll make the color, I don't know, yellow. Who cares? I just need to do something. We can go into the bullet object and we'll change it so it doesn't actually have an aura in the first place. That'll make things stand out where I need to change something. Right, this created a big explosion when they died. That was like the color, something of like an aura. It's like forget that. We'll just make it bad. I don't know. Sure. That all looks okay. Let's just see if it runs. Betting no? Yes? Oh, yeah, okay. It looks little sparkles. Did they not destroy themselves? Wait, let's double check that. Hit debug on accident. That's fun. Oh well, same difference. Yeah, they're just passing through, which is weird. Let's see. It's probably in the not the script. It's when the bullet actually hits something, right? Hit target player. It doesn't actually destroy it. Should. I think it was just because that was already a problem regardless. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Okay. That's a little bit better. I just think that's going to be cleaner. It's going to be easier to play something like that where you know exactly where your bullets are going to go to instead of having to aim with the mouse and control the other thing at the same time. I'll tweak also eventually how those enemies are able to move. I want them to move a little bit slower. But let's go ahead and also add... One thing I'd like to do is to make it so that you don't have to specify the absolute time that an enemy appears, but just how much longer since the last one. I think it is possible in a queue to pull up the tail of the queue, which is just... That's the least recent item in the queue. Right, so that way you can say like, no, actually, I guess what I want is the most recent, because it's a queue. That's how queues work. Because what I want to do is I want to be able to make it so that when I put something in, it adds it that many more after. So let's change that script too while we're here. So we have this one, order enemy. I've already changed that, got rid of this. And it puts the timing here. What I want to do is I want to have it say, we're going to have it separately pull out a variable for like old one. I guess it's called by the console, so maybe it's fine. Is it called by the console? Yes, definitely, because the console literally calls it when you create it. This is just how I create the entire thing. So the entire level basically is just lives in here. It's eventually that's not going to necessarily be the case though. At some point, although, so maybe I should be putting what object holds that variable just in case. You know what? I don't want to be regretting it later. I know what has it, so I'll just put it in here. Wow. I can spell. Okay. So we have the previous one. I don't know why I call it old. Did I say that? And then the time now is actually going to be the relative time. So what I'll be able to do instead is well, if there's not anything in it, then we shouldn't do that. Go. And I'll put it so that it also has I don't know, because it's a letter in the alphabet, that's why. and then we'll say else a equals 0. That way when there's none in there, this, oh, we could do like this. I'm a stickler for this sort of thing. Then, instead of just time, I'll say a plus time. Now, when I make the first one, it'll put it in at whatever time I set it to, whatever that is, like the actual global kind of timing. But then every one after that, I can actually just have it come in that many steps after. So before I was having to like count it out, but now I can just say like this first guy comes in at 50, and the next guy comes in at the same time. The next guy comes in 50 more after that, and this guy comes in at the same time. Ta-da! It works exactly the same, which is good because that's what I wanted it to do. I'll make it slightly easier to add new guys though, because I don't have to keep track of where everything was before that. Cool. Now what enemy types did I have at this point? One, two, and three. I believe that's one that kind of squiggles along, one that kind of comes to the top, and one comes to the bottom. Okay. You know, that's actually, I think, a good amount to work with for like maybe mapping out some, like a simple level where we just kind of go through a few things really quick. So let's see. So we've added in, we've got those guys that come in. That looks at least okay, right? Okay. Now what I've got actually, and I still need to break this out and do it, I've got some graphing paper that I'm going to use to kind of figure out the actual like positions that I want to put everything in. And that way we can get it to where it works. Basically, I can very quickly figure out the actual position in game that everything should be when it spawns in, and then I can go from there and get it all working out. I'll have to do some work to kind of convert between the two. It's hard to explain without showing it. I don't have a way to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and right now I'm just going to add in a couple more enemies really quick, like a few more, just to test out some things. We'll start this guy off. We'll make a couple of the other guys, the squiggly guys, and we'll put them in a little bit at later. I'll put them at... I'll just use percentages of the room's height. So like at like 30%. And then this was one of the type 2? Yeah, because the type 2 ones are the squiggly ones. And this is going to be another like 80, let's say. We'll have these guys come out like just a little bit one after the other. So we'll have like, I don't know why I said 0.30 instead of just 0.3. There we go. I'll have another one come out. We'll have these guys like do that a couple of times. See how that looks. Kind of a simple little test of having enemies come at you. Cool. Cool. Could do better for like where those appear. I was kind of, in my head, I was imagining them kind of being closer to the middle, but whatever. Point is that it works. These guys can come down further. I'd like to get those guys shooting too. That could be something we could work on this time too. Is figuring out how those enemies shoot. They're all squiggly. Do they shoot like squiggly bullets? Or maybe they actually shoot like down and up, like in your direction. They can make like lines of bullets or something. I believe I have a script for that. Yeah. Pattern burst is what I call it. Here it is, where you can actually choose the pattern of bullets that appears. So let's make these guys make them in the up-down direction of the player. They could kind of make like little curtains of bullets. I think that could interact interestingly with yeah, what if it was like this? Like maybe they aren't even bursts. I don't know if I need to run this, because what I could do is I could make it so that just every few steps they like just make one bullet that heads like in the direction, like the just the Y direction of the player. Let's see. Enemy type. This is the one. Here's two. So just like maybe every time they switch directions, because they kind of go up, down, up, down. That wouldn't be a bad time to do it. So we just have them make a bullet. Let's see. Bullet. Create bullet. Direction is going to be what's the easiest way to do this? I could do the component value. I think I can actually get the component. That'd be, maybe that's a little bit too, here, let's just do it like this. Okay, so if the player is above, you'll shoot it above. How's about that? 270, I think. I might have to do math. So we do, it's 90 for going down, I'm pretty sure, right? So just do another 180 from that. Hey, look at that. I did math in my head, or possibly just remembered a number. Good for me. Direction, owner is self, I'm pretty sure. And then that's how I usually do this, right? Yeah. Enemy, true. Well, we don't set a speed. Else. I wonder how this will look. This will probably look weird. This might not be as good as I think it's going to be. Let's just try it out. There's the burst, shotgun burst, and these guys are just pew, 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 pew. Oh, it's not working how I wanted it to. That's disappointing. Oh, I forgot to actually change the number. There we go. Oh, it's not. I didn't copy it for the other side too. So it looks kind of goofy. There. Okay. Now, it's goofy either way. It was kind of a goofy idea. I wanted them to be further down. Let's see. 8. We'll do 8. 80%, basically. So it's 80% of the way down instead. That could be more interesting if, like, it's pretty easy to dodge. They don't even shoot at you. That could be more interesting if, like, you're in the middle of something, like something else attacking you. Might actually add to something. We could have them spawn in earlier. It's like one of those maybe comes in right away, like early, like, and then another one at the same time at the bottom, right? And then that same thing happens right before the other ones come in, like that. Yeah, it's something. I don't know. It's just a thought at this point. I think that I could go ahead and change over. Let's see. What else could I do at this point? I would like to be able to have more enemy types, but I have to kind of think of some, and I don't know that I can just come up with that right this second. That was basically the idea I had at this point. Could do ones that do like more of a burst in like a circle too, that sort of thing. It'd be really fun to actually program in like a proper like Toho style boss also. That could be really fun to figure out. Getting it to where like bullet patterns actually come out and move in more interesting ways. That sort of thing seems really tough. But I think it could also be doable. I don't know if that's exactly the direction I want to go with on like a boss battle necessarily, but could be. I don't know. We'll see. At this point, one idea I've got for right this second, so I could just go ahead and, like I said, I said it was going to be a particularly short stream. It's even shorter than I expected because I'm feeling kind of gross today. What I might do instead is I could just switch over to Okami, or I could just stop. I don't know if I want to just stop. I haven't streamed for very long today, have I? But I don't know if I have any better ideas on how to push this forward right this second. Just kind of a potential pitfall with this type of thing. If I had more to show, or had something like if I had something already done, or if I had more ideas for what to do with it this exact second, I could do more. But instead, I've kind of ended up here. I mostly ended up working on, well, for one thing, Lost Ark. Hopefully I can actually get some more done over the course of the week. I'd like to get some work done actually like on paper to get some ideas for some other movements, and also for actually just planning out and the entire level. Because if I have that planned out, then what I could do, I could have a stream where I literally just enter in a bunch of numbers, which would be like in and of itself boring, but maybe if people actually could show up and hang out, then we could actually just kind of, we could chill while I slowly do what is basically data entry. That's data entry stream. That sounds like fun, right? All right, well, that's here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to BRB. We'll actually play a video game. I feel like with Elden Ring coming up, I'm going to have less time to get through Okami anyway, so maybe it's a good idea to get some time in. Be right back in just a little moment. Just got to get some music ready. We'll start with, where did we leave off before? I had to close it because I was concerned about bugs. Did I skip shopping? Whatever. We'll throw that in too.